Hey guys, welcome back. This is Lucid, and I am joined again by Maryland.
Good morning, my friends.
Small mic adjustment there. Okay. So last time we had all hell break loose with a bunch of wars and some very kind of interesting weird diplo from Uruk.
Yep.
And the Triangle of Love was heating up again.
Quadrangle, I'd say.
Quadrangle, yeah, because Pelagia is in it now.
Yeah.
So let's start as we always do with messages. And this can be interesting because we have a message from Vanarus, and he hadn't sent us anything in a while, so Maryland asked him to kind of share his thoughts in Discord. So we have that too. So we'll get to kind of compare notes here.
Let's see how they compare. I'll just have a look at that. You wrote me a really short paragraph.
Right. I must apologize, as it's been some time since I last sent word, but things have been a little busy. Firstly, a defensive agreement has been struck between myself and Mictlan had been struck between myself and Mictlan regarding Jotun's aggressive expansion. When Jotun invaded Mictlan, my units were in the process of capturing the Inner Throne. I think he lost an army there too. And unfortunately, things were nearly over for Mictlan by the time I was able to attack Jotun. However, I kept my deal and persisted, perhaps foolishly, with my attack. I also figured that it wouldn't be long before the others would recognize the threat Jotun posed, and I felt I could at least hold him at bay until then. Prioritizing...
I would just jump in to say, yes, he did hold him at bay.
Yeah.
I mean, they just had a back and forth there for a long time.
I don't know he inflicted much attrition on him, though.
No, but he didn't lose much.
Right.
And if his intent was just to hold him at bay until others came in, I'm just saying I think he satisfied his intent.
Yeah. I also figured that it wouldn't be long for... Okay, Jotun that I could at least hold him at bay until then. Prioritizing fort building helped in this regard. I managed to secure a nap with Ulm to protect my flank, but unfortunately Ctis invaded me, taking a fort in a province, and afterwards proposing a peace deal, which I accepted. Interesting. So they've been at peace. It's not really...
Yeah, except Ctis doesn't seem to coordinate his movements, so he's actually had some accidental fights with Vanarus.
Right. They had a pretty big bump last turn, I think.
Yeah.
But then that asks the question... What is Ctis really doing attacking Jotunheim? Because a war with Jotunheim through a diagonal does not really make sense for Ctis if he's at peace with Vanarus.
Yeah. This is bizarre. This really begs the question of what the heck is Ctis really trying to do?
Yeah.
Because his movements have appeared a little bit just sort of scattered, like kind of dodge in, dodge out.
Well, yeah. Ulm canceled nap with me last turn. I think the explanation would have been that, I think an expectation that he would have taken Bandar's capital. I've heard that he did not. Smiley face.
Yes, he did not.
He did not, indeed. So I will bring the fight to him. Perhaps I will continue to raid Jotun with hope, within the hope that I will be able to keep some of this territory should Jotun fall. That's a decent thought. Although it's a nap 3 with an uneasy peace with Ctis due to disputed terms of peace, so I must be vigilant. Be interesting to see what those disputed terms were. Bandar feels confident they can hold off Ulm for some time, and I think it wise to attack Ulm from my northeastern border. This will hopefully divide Ulm's attention, and I will also be close to Ctis should they decide to attack me once again.
Well, I would argue that the move Ctis made last turn was an offensive move. If I remember correctly, he pushed directly westward and caused a bump.
So...
Right there. That one...
this one?
It was the one above that right above that.
Right here?
No, west one, the cold one.
Here?
Yeah, there was a fight there last turn.
It couldn't have been. I kind of want to go back and see, because I think we're going to look at this turn and more...
Yeah, just pop out to it for just a second.
I think it's going to make a lot more sense.
There was a funky bump there.
Okay, wait. Sorry, I'm getting disoriented. Okay.
Right in the middle where you see the Vanarus army. Oh no!
No, this was it. Where he
Oh,
hit
there
a
it
Bandar Log.
was.
So this.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But this just highlights it doesn't make sense for both of them to be at war, because like this province was raided from Vanarus, so Ctis is probably like, okay, this is mine. But if he's gonna keep fighting Jotunheim, like, okay, I guess he would raid this, right? Because this is a diagonal push, and why not go after this?
But
like
the lack of coordination. If it was me, I'd be
Yeah.
calling this NEP dead. Dead just due to lack of coordination.
Well, I don't
If
think
you
that
can't
the
be
nap
ours
is
to-
dead. I don't think there's a violation of the nap.
I don't know if I'd call it a violation, but I would be frustrated, to say the least. By not telling me you were going to raid that way.
Well, I
Now
mean,
that goes to both of them.
yeah, it goes to both of them. I mean, I think if you do that, then they were both attacking a Jotun flag, and they were both figured, let's roll the dice and see
Right.
who
Right.
comes out. But such senseless violence. Okay, let's go back.
Yeah. Okay, well, and that's entirely open to interpretation. There's a little bit more information in his notes to me from Discord related to this situation. One of the problems appears to be they had a disagreement or confusion. Vanarus had agreed to take a throne, but it looks like there was two at that one, I think, and the one south of it were under discussion. And Vanarus attacked the wrong one, or at least Ctis thought it was different which one. Now, I'm not entirely sure. Let me see if I can read this. Yeah, so what he said was, I explained this to Ctis, who seems to have reluctantly accepted my explanation as it was unclear which throne he meant. So, yeah, what they said was, peace was agreed that Ctis gets 8278 and the throne. But it wasn't a statement of which throne. So they started off their
I think
agreement.
that's obvious. It's 51.
You would think so, but he meant the one at 122.
82, 78, and the throne.
But Ctis says
78, the throne.
But Ctis says he wanted the one at 122.
What?
So I mean, these guys they're having a tough time communicating.
I don't understand how Ctis would just like, I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Not me either. The 3 in a line down below is the obvious request.
Yeah.
And Ctis would have done very well to stop right there, or just raid from that point on.
And Ctis doesn't have a strong negotiating point anymore. He had like a really cool research timing where he could do some cool things, but he's no longer a research leader. He's fallen behind. He doesn't have great scales. He's not out of the game, but I don't think he's in any position to bully Vanarus into something silly. No,
I agree. So that kind of sums it up. About the only other thing McCohen said as Vanarus is that he thinks another war with Ctis is likely.
Okay.
And I would agree. I think, that is just not the basis for mutual trust.
Well, the one thing that's a problem with this for Vanarus is that if Ulm has ended his nap with him, this conflict where they both team up against Jotunheim does not make sense for these two guys to team up, right? But what does make sense is for Ulm and Ctis to team up on Vanarus. That
could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's actually like a stable game state. Jotun pieces out with both players, and then this goes into Ulm and these guys trying to eat Vanarus.
But we happen to know that Jotun does not appear to like to sell off land.
No.
For peace. So.
I don't think we have any Vanarus fights. We don't have anything from Ctis. Let's look at the Ctis fights. Okay, he kicks these guys off this fort.
Okay, cheaply.
And we've got a battle here. Jotun attacking Ctis. Oh boy.
This looks like big attrition.
Popcorn.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a PD dump of Amazons.
I just wanted to mention, if you remember last turn, Ctis had set up a thug script on the Neater of Chaos.
Right.
I'm really wondering if he kept it that way or now he switched it back to a support.
Right.
Because the Thug Bless won't be so great with killing one unit a turn.
Especially if he gets stuck in Skelly spam.
Right.
But he's got this is probably about a 20 PD dump of Jade Amazons. He doesn't have many Sauromancers. It's only or Marshmasters. It's only four. And that's a pretty good Turbo Communion. It's not huge, but I don't see Scrot. Oh, here's a Scrotty. No, but he's going to be casting. Okay, let's just see. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe Rain.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a Scrotty Turbo Communion. Okay, so we had 3 Sabbath Slaves and 3 Masters. Okay. And this guy did Sabbath Master. And he has 3 gems, so it might be Grip of Winter. Oh my god, if it's Grip of Winter.
Yep.
Okay, there goes Wailing Winds.
Okay, so the tough part here. Oh, and here comes many skeletons.
Yeah.
Can we go?
He does have 4 skeletons.
And see what the script on the Neater is. I'm just wondering if we can tell.
He's getting buffed up. We'll watch him. Oh, there went Grip of Winter.
There. Oh wow. Wailing Winds, missed form. He's set up for thugging.
Yeah.
See if he casts Flight.
These guys are gonna fall asleep so goddamn fast.
Yep.
I'm not even in combat, already at 20-something fatigue.
Well, what about the Marshmasters?
Oh, they're not waking up again. They're done. It's turn 4.
Oh boy.
Here's your research rush. We're gonna research rush with our Marshmasters.
Jotun said he had a couple of critical research goals. He was just about finished. Now the trick is, I'm wondering if Jotun has enough skeletons on the map now to avoid a rout.
Yeah, we'll see, because these guys have already run.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably not.
And that PD is going to do a good job here. But it's basically fatigue play versus morale play.
Yeah. Oh boy. So is the Neater fatigued out yet?
Uh-oh.
Some of the
Communion Masters are gone. All of them except for this guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't have much morale. He only has 13. He'll fail a check eventually. If this Neater... Oh, he's fatigued out.
He's fatigued out.
He doesn't have cold resistance. There's a chance he doesn't wake up.
Yeah, and hit the V key on him. I'm curious if he cast Flight and then Banefire. So he left in... Oh, that's weird. Why Banefire?
I think he was going to do casting. I mean, he wasn't going to...
Then why... Yeah, then delete the Flight. The misform's sort of okay, but...
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, Flight's nice if you need to run. But...
Okay, the PD is starting to run away.
Not having cold resistance on this guy...
Oh.
If you're spellcasting too, like just to run a spellcasting script, well, he's not getting severe cold, so never mind. I was going to say, just using your fire path to do resist cold.
Yeah, even the little 5.1.
Yeah.
It helps a lot.
I mean, we don't even have Rigor Mortis out, so this could be even worse. But these few skeletons that got summoned at the beginning are basically doing everything, because these guys are done. They're fatigued out. All these guys.
Yeah. So they will never get away.
Yeah.
So all those Sobex die. The question is, how many Marshmasters die?
I think everything's going to die.
Yeah, I think Ctis will be lucky to...
His fatigue isn't coming down.
Nope. Wow. Oh boy. But then the rest of the Jotun herdmen run, and the last of the skeleton undead commanders run.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Can't
so all
be.
this stuff. Yeah. Oh boy.
Who would have ever thought?
What a mess.
Absolute mess.
Oh, and they get away.
They get away.
Okay. Well, his losses are insignificant.
Yeah.
And Ctis lost 3 Marsh Masters, almost every Sobek.
Yeah, I think this is almost unrecoverable from Ctis now.
That's brutal. Well, and where the heck did the...
Oh, this is a different battle. We got different RNG.
Oh, shoot.
And the one we saw, Ctis held. Okay, so this just goes to show...
No. This is the one we saw.
No. Jotun attacked Ctis and won. We just saw Ctis win.
Oh.
And there were several Marshmasters at the end. We'll fast forward. It's only 23
We have a
turns
battle
in.
replay problem.
Yeah.
You didn't start the game with an old patch, did you?
It's probably an old patch. Yeah, they just ran. And in our version, there's 2 Marshmasters left.
Yeah. But either way, this was a painful battle for Ctis.
Yeah, in both versions, Ctis lost, but in this version, the one that actually counts, Ctis also lost the province.
I want to note something. If you look at the provinces neighboring it, I don't see a neater in them. So where did it run to? Did it run over there? Oh my God, it's trapped. Oh.
And that's tough. I don't even know how you get them out. This gives you lots of problems because
oh boy,
you can move and try to retreat, but then if you don't have any place to retreat to, like I'm not even sure it can cross this river. In fact, I don't think it can.
No, it doesn't swim.
But you could like move here and retreat and take this with your army.
He's got to try something.
But yeah, that's not good.
See, and this is what happens. He pushed too far without reserve armies to defend his retreat path.
Yeah.
Because he pushed that neater with that only moderate army onto Jotun's fort to the south of where you are. And then he had to try to pull back.
Yeah.
And his pullback failed.
I think this is just in some ways a critical flaw that you like. If his strategy is to do a research rush and then use mages, if he brought just enough garbage, they can't kill everything before they have to run. So if he had a bigger army and he sat on a fort, maybe this would still work attacking into cold. But
let's keep
your
in mind,
Marshmasters are basically going to be useless. Like your Mage Corps.
But he could have made cheap cold resist rings.
No, but that wouldn't help with Cold-Blooded, though. That would have helped with Grip of Winter.
It doesn't, but it helps with the Grip of Winter, and it helps with some of the other parts of the cold.
Yeah. But he gets a bit of a pass on the Grip of Winter. That was the reveal of it. But attacking into... I guess what I'm saying is attacking into Cold 3 when your whole plan is a research rush and to use Marshmasters, probably not a great idea.
Yeah, I agree with you. I very much agree with you. Not only that, if I was going to attack into Cold 3, I think I'd be buying some independent troops that aren't cold-blooded.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I hadn't thought about that.
Well, I hadn't prior to this, but I just thought of it now. If you're going to push into Cold 3, you could build yourself a line of cheap heavy infantry.
The other thing you can do is almost all of the cold-blooded nations have access to death mages. Mm-hmm. And if you twice-born and kill them, and you can just run them out with your first party or raiding or something until they die. But they'll come back as a white mage. And that is, in my opinion, kind of the only, and it's not a great workaround, but kind of the only workaround that most cold-blooded nations have against fighting into cold nations.
It's not bad, especially if they're not too big. I mean,
Yeah.
Marshmasters are size 2, so that's 10 death. And we know that Ctis has a very large death income.
Right. And if you prioritize your death 3s, because I think you get death 3s, it's not a bad way to get up to death 4. Because you'll get, I don't know, it's like 1 in 5 of them are going to get a bonus death path. So.
Yeah.
And a death 4 mage is pretty serious business.
Yeah.
And so I think if you do that, especially if you can get some reinvigoration items, and instead of having a lot of Marshmasters, you have a few with reinvigoration items as white mages, that is your best bet for fighting into Cold 3.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion. I agree with you. I didn't think of it prior, but I mean, personally, if I play a cold-blooded nation, and I don't play Ctis very often, but I've played quite a bit of Nagas.
Right.
And I try desperately to avoid pushing into cold.
Yeah.
You know, preferably, if nothing else, try to preach on your borders a bit. Try to get it just a little bit warmer, and then it's not so bad.
Yeah.
Do that before. But so we've kind of covered Vanarus, Ctis.
Yeah, we've done Vanarus, Ctis, and Jotun in this region. Let's continue
covered
with
enough
Jotun.
of Jotun?
Well, let's continue.
Okay, I'm just doing my notes on what we've done.
We'll finish Jotun here.
Mm-hmm.
And Ashdod, so.
Here he goes with more Bakemono raids? No.
Yeah, he likes these Bakemono.
Oh, no, that's Ashdod's Bakemono.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
They're doing well.
He gets attacked by Indies, who he kills. Raids with some Bakemono here. Takes 4 losses.
Boy, that's cheap raiding.
And there's a throne battle here with nothing inside.
Right.
I don't know if this will trigger gem use. I kind of want to see if he does flaming arrows.
I don't think it will. Because the flaming should have gone up already.
Yeah. And then he raids south. And then
oh boy.
Here. Okay. Let's kind of see the kid on the Scrotty. Who he had patrolling in case there were raiders. Oh, that's a solid kit.
That's a heavy kit.
It's got a bunch of nature gems. I'm not sure. I guess it's for enlarge.
Maybe.
No?
Yeah, and it might just be as spares for the next fight.
Yeah.
He might not have had enough scouts to bring spares on a scout.
Okay. Okay, so Jotunheim has raided this back from Pelagia. He's lost a bunch of territory against Ashdod. Pelagia has moved this army successfully back on to this fort.
And notice that Pelagia has put a proper sieging army there in that plains.
Right.
Like, that's serious. So...
yeah, that's a big, scary army.
Yeah. I guess the safer move for Pelagia would be to push it to take that fort directly to its northwest. But the more exciting move might be to push it direct at Jotun's cap.
Right, just check it. Make him start doing desperate things.
Yeah.
Speaking of desperate things, you know who I see?
No. Oh, the Kraken's on land.
Written in the water.
So finally it shows up.
The Kraken has showed up. So it was a imprisoned Kraken. And
I bet you it is geared to the nth degree.
Yeah, that is an X factor.
Is it on land? It's on land, right?
No, it's right here. It's in his cap.
Oh,
it just
it's in
spawned,
his cap.
I think. So,
okay.
Because I'd been checking to see when his god spawned, because we knew he had an imprisoned god, but
and it's probably really cheap with just Earth and Astral and maybe a little bit of something. So he'll gear it up with 4 arms.
Well, have we seen his bless?
We have. I didn't write it down.
I expect he's got high enough to make wish casting kind of easy to get his wish factory online. So
it's hard work getting wish on a Kraken though, because you've only got 2 miscellaneous slots, or do you have 4?
You have 2, so you kind of want to get like.
But that's only a
Astral
coin.
7. So and a ring of wizardry. So.
Yeah. Okay. So 7.
Yeah. So you kind of need Astral 7. So.
I suppose I wish we Yeah, I wish we'd
He
written
has,
down the
what does he have? I
last-
thought he had like a Farcast. I can't remember. I think he might have Farcaster. I don't know.
I can't remember.
We'll find out. But
Mhm.
you
I
don't
could ask him.
need much. No, it's fine. You don't need much on a Kraken to be a super combatant, but it's a question of whether he wants to do a Wish Factory with him too.
Yeah, see, if he wanted a Wish Factory, though, I would have thought he would have picked a better chassis that has a head. Or
Maybe.
does Krakens have
Yeah.
a head?
No, they don't have a head. They've got a bunch of arms, but
Yeah, 4 arms and miscellaneous.
that is
So-
going to make it very hard for it increases the threat level of Pelagia a lot, because now whatever Jotun fields, Jotun's already spread thin. Now whatever Jotun fields has to be able to deal with this army and with a magic phasing Kraken.
Yep.
So
Yeah, it's pretty much guaranteed the Kraken will have magic phase because Astral 3 is cheap. And
yeah. The
can you show me his scales? I'm just going
you're
to see
try
if
to
I can
recreate
build
it?
this thing
Yeah, here you go.
briefly.
Yeah, it's 1 turmoil, 2 order, heat 1. Oh no, it's going to be heat 3, and then growth 3, luck 3. He's probably got a bunch of gems from that turmoil luck scales. Okay. While you're doing that, I'm going to continue.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, we get independence attacking here. Here, okay, so now we're moving to the Vanheim Jotunheim theater. And he's basically has raided with Veti. Oh wait, he's attacking Ashdod here with Veti. Here, there's a Vanadrot who raids. And a Vanadrot is actually a pretty major commitment.
Ooh. Oh, we've seen this one. This is the the poison one.
Right.
We're seeing this one.
Yeah.
Fairly pricey, but does a good job.
Right. Oh boy, and he moves the Doomstack on top. So this is the Turbo Communion setup with a bunch of people on Guard Commander. And
Right.
the thing that this is weak to almost more than anything else, and we'll see if Vanheim has it. We know he was teching for it. I don't know if he's researched it yet. Is Thunderstrike.
Yes, because he told us that
Right.
was his target.
So if we see Storm go up, we know shit's about to go down. Divine Blessing.
Flight.
Strength of Giants.
No storm.
No Storm. This... Oh, and these guys have jumped in the back.
Okay. We can't really stop that. Oh, there's the Thunderstrikes.
Yikes.
He didn't have storm yet, but he's got the Thunderstrikes.
Yeah, he's got enough. I think only the Vanadrots can do it. If we just look, let's see who's casting it.
1, 2.
Oh, did he have gems on these guys? Because this guy just cast Thunderstrike. He must have had a gem.
Must have had a bit of gems. But he told us he was pretty short on gems.
I guess he just put it up for a big, strong alpha barrage. Like, this guy's got a gem too.
Yeah,
So he's doing gems for Thunderstrike. Wow.
that's it.
That is not something
But-
you see often.
No, it's a bit of an expensive option, but
Oh, man.
gosh.
And these guys are doing Sleep Cloud rather than Horde of Skeletons.
Oh,
I know
that's
they're
quite
doing a lot of Horde of Skeletons too. And Sleep Cloud.
More Thunderstrikes. That's a lot of Thunderstrikes.
What? Why are these? How many? Oh no! One of the Scrotty have died.
Oh boy.
That means they can't
There's
cast
only
Horde
one
of Skeletons.
slave,
A lot of them. Only
Yeah.
the Death Randoms can.
Oh. With a single slave, there's no boost.
Yeah.
And they're still There's still sleep clouds, stellar debris.
So now they're doing mostly useless spells because there's nothing for them to cast.
Oh, and they're surrounded, and the Valkyries are holding the line, so they can't retreat. This is a wipe. This looks like it's going to be nearly a stock wipe.
Wow.
Some blade winds, that's kind of funny.
It's good here. It's a very good spell
Running
here.
out of things he can cast. Oh god, that's the entire community dead. Holy cow.
Wow, I'm almost speechless.
Yeah, that's a stack wipe for almost no cost.
So this was, by the way, Kris Lighthawk playing Vanheim, and this was this is a masterclass defense with Vanheim.
Oh gosh.
Perfect. How he has the gems for Thunderstrike. He has these guys flanking. The one thing I didn't mention with these guys flying into flank, sure they get slept and like they don't do anything. What they do though is skeletons, when you summon Horde of Skeletons, they're on attack closest. All of them. And so it's actually very annoying if you have people that fly to the back and get behind you, because your skeletons don't run forward, they run backwards. And what that means is you then have things that get in close. And once things get in close, sometimes the spellcasting AI will say, Horde of Skeletons is good, but Sleep Cloud's better, or something else is better, which I actually think the spellcasting AI was doing pretty good here.
Not bad, because like you said, well, we see right now at the beginning, he looks like he had 3 scratty slaves.
Yeah.
But by the time we looked, there was only 1 alive.
Yeah.
So the Thunderstrikes wiped out 2 of them.
Yeah.
So, holy crap.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and that's really the thing that put the nail in the coffin, was having these scrotty die.
Absolutely. But this is a devastating loss for Jotun.
This is every mage he had in the Mictlan area, plus probably some from his homelands.
Yeah, this is brutal.
What are the things he could have done to defend against it? Well, if he had like copper plates on these guys, then they wouldn't have been killed by Thunderstrike.
But I think that's, in my opinion, we're asking the wrong question here. He wasn't defending, he pushed forward.
Yeah.
And he really wasn't prepared for the air magic potential that was always possible.
Well, yeah. I think when you think about something like this, you have to say, okay, if I'm Jotunheim and I do this, because I think this is a strong strategy, which it is. This is very scary. What are the ways that Vanheim can counter it? And there's a few ways. There's Mass Air Elementals, and there's Thunderstrike, and there's Wrathful Skies. Those are the tools that Vanheim has. And honestly, any one of those would counter this. Like, Wrathful Skies would kill this. Though I don't think Vanheim has a Shock Bless.
But I think, so that's kind of what I'm saying, is that, he probably knew this big stack of Vans and Valkyries was here.
Yeah.
And he didn't know necessarily if it was patrolling, but and he chose to push to aggressively counterattack against arguably a superior force. Right.
So I guess the question, though, is if you know those are the things that Vanheim can do, right? They can either do Wrathful Skies, they can do Mass Thunderstrike spam with Storm, which he didn't even have Storm yet, and he managed to pull off with Air Gems.
Yeah.
Or they can do Thunderstrike, Air Elementals, Storm, Wrathful Skies. Yeah, any one of those. You probably want to think about, like, what are the ways I deal with that? I would say the bare minimum would be putting copper plates on these dudes so you don't lose your communions. Because right now, these guys are the target of Wrathful Skies because they have the most HP and they have a Shock Malice.
Or Thunderstrike, either one.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he needs shock resist somehow in this matchup. And copper plate, but does he have a way to make copper plate?
I mean, you could trade for 3 of them probably.
Yeah, he could buy it.
Well, no, okay. Actually, there's other things he could do. So, Elemental Fortitude, cast by one of the mages, would get rid of the Shock Malice.
And then there's the small resist lightning and earth, but Elemental Fortitude's better. And
I can't remember if I don't think he has earth.
I thought he had a little bit, maybe not.
Yeah, I think Elemental Fortitude, I like having all masters cast Elemental Fortitude.
Yeah, that would have been very helpful. I agree with you there. Good call.
And then maybe doing... The problem, though, is the Thunderstrike's still going to kill these dudes.
Well,
And Thunderstrike is still going to kill these guys without the Shock Malice.
I still think it comes to, before the tactical decisions on how to survive what is probably there, you've got the strategic decision on where to pick the fight.
Yeah.
And I would argue this is not the place to pick that fight. If he had picked this fight behind PD, might have been different.
Yeah, because the PD might have been Evo bait. That's the other thing that might have saved this, is if he had a big squad of Evo bait that was closer. Like even if he just had some of these guys sacrificially all grouped up here, right? And they were closer, so they're going to have better precision. You know, it's possible that evocations would have targeted those guys, but and PD would have done a similar purpose.
Yeah, and sometimes I will summon big bags of hit points as Astral and Evo bait, like giants or something. Yeah, they're just suicide, but they at least soak a bit.
Yeah,
but
and when Wrathful Skies comes out, it gets worse. So,
yeah, okay.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, beautifully done by Kris Lighthawk here. I mean, just a flawless victory.
Yeah. And it doesn't look like we have a replay error on that battle, which is odd.
Oh, 2 scouts. I wonder if he's bringing...
He was bringing up more gems?
Yeah, I'm going to check, actually.
It's worthwhile.
Yep.
Yeah, he was carrying slaves, so he lost those. So that hurts, too.
More slaves?
Yeah. Gems.
Gems,
yeah, gems.
Skull Staff.
Oh, gosh.
Boots.
Oh, that hurt.
Oh, it hurts.
Oh, that hurt. Holy cow.
Okay, so what did this buy Vanheim? I mean, there's nothing to defend all of this.
No.
So Vanheim, especially with him distracted up here, Vanheim can basically take all this for free now.
Mm-hmm.
The question I think Vanheim has to ask is, do they want to? It's a weird extension. You know, like it puts them in a very long...
He doesn't want to bump Ashdod, so hopefully they're communicating, dividing up that territory. And that would be what I'd be doing as Vanheim. Can we look at the...
It's still kind of a long diagonal expansion, which I don't love, but he's a very noble nation, so it's okay. Can we look at what?
Can we look at the province graph?
Yes, sir.
I'm just thinking... Yeah, so Vanheim... Oh, look at Pan. Holy cow. So Vanheim's in a nice position to kind of hold. Consolidate his gains, clean up his borders.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
God. Did you see the Uruk graph? We'll get there in a minute.
No, let's...
When we get there.
Well, we've covered, I think, now all of the Jotun conflicts. We've covered Pelagia, we've covered Ashdod, we've covered Vanheim, and Jotunheim.
Yep. And then the only thing would be any more comments on Van. I think we've kind of covered his strategic choices.
Yeah. I mean, he just gets to decide how much he extends. But I don't know what to do as Jotunheim anymore. I don't even think you could buy peace with Vanheim after losing everything you have to defend stuff now.
No.
I think if you're Jotunheim, the best you can hope to do is survive now.
Mm-hmm.
So try to keep your original land. This too, one thing I want to say too is that if you're playing in a game of like medium players, like players who know how to play and have maybe won a game before, you would feel very confident rolling this stack into Vanheim. Like,
yes, because that was pretty advanced scripting. Like to give gems to be able to toss up Thunderstrike, that's not a common thing.
Right.
More likely would be put the gems on to make some air elementals or something like that.
Right. If he didn't have the flankers that came in and distracted all the skeletons, if the Thunderstrikes didn't all land, if all these things didn't happen, it's possible Jotunheim could have taken this losing only like 5 troops.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when you're playing against good players, you have to show them adequate respect. And you don't get a ton of times to see like, okay, well, what are you scripting? What are you going to do? Well,
I mean, a single or a couple of small errors in your scripting against a really good player can be devastating.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be a stack wipe simply because you missed a couple little subtle points.
And the other thing is there's an information disparity here. There's Vanheim got to see exactly what Jotunheim was doing because Jotunheim moved this army here the previous turn.
And
he attacked with the same script. So he probably could have even tested it, right, to make sure it would work.
Exactly.
Whereas Jotunheim had no idea what Vanheim was going to do. The only thing he had known was Vanheim did Strength of Giants and stuff when he attacked in here. But Vanheim brought a huge mage core, which he could do a ton of different things with.
And he didn't really know if those vans were all still there or if they'd moved out to be raiders.
Right.
But they were still there.
Yeah. So, what he might could have done is done a PD here, fought on the defense, pinged this to see what Vanheim was planning.
Yeah.
And then gotten some of the information back.
Well, that's what I mean by my strategic choice would have been for Jotunheim to hold steady in that unforded farm.
Right.
And then, probe a bit and see what's going on before he commits to such a pretty high risk move.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move to end.
Sure.
Not a house of cards after all. So this is a little gloating after his victory against Agartha.
Well, that was devastating.
So far, the first war against Agartha has been good. Managed to plug my defensive line. Beat Agartha 2 times now with roughly 3-1 losses. If I play my cards right, he has 1 more big fight left in him. Objective now is to threaten the cap and just hit his economy. That should increase my own income so I can recover from the losses. From that point, I can just bleed him out or go for the kill.
And that is what we basically said at the end of our discussion of the situation.
Right.
Is that Inn can push forward any direction he wants with small armies.
Right.
Agartha can't do anything. Yeah.
One idea I have is pivoting east. Only his cap unit, Shardguard and Flamespawn, can somewhat deal with my Ethereal Sacreds. If I can screen with my main force a large raiding force past Agartha's cap into his rear, it'll be very hard for him to defend against that. Yeah, the other good thing about doing this is you prevent vultures from getting too much of the spoils.
Well, I'm quite fond of circling someone's cap if you're close to the kill before you perk on the cap.
Yeah.
Take away all the economy, make sure that he's in negative gold.
Yeah.
And then you move on his capital. Or you could take out his PD with something cheap, like a PD killer. Hopefully he's not patrolling on his cap. And then you lock the cap down. But I don't like parking a big army on the cap until I've sort of cleaned up around it.
Well, I like doing random things too. Sometimes I like going on, sometimes I like not. The thing about being a little random, like if you go on top of the cap, you can leave the cap and go raid next turn, right? But
yes, absolutely.
You've gotten rid of the PD. If they're going to defend it, it's a much harder commitment now.
Yeah. I see that Agartha has basically pulled everything home to his capital.
Yeah.
Except a bunch of Earth Readers in that fort to the northwest.
Right. So he now has a sizable force here that's raiding out. Agartha still has a fair number of forts, and this is a big, scary army. With flaming arrows, this army, with this many crossbows, probably, and I don't know how much our army report is lying, but could do some serious damage still.
Potentially. But I think
Ind does have 5 fire resistance though. So
and if he parks in that forest behind a PD wall and just is a constant threat while he takes these inexpensive raid armies and starts pressuring Agartha every other way.
Yeah.
I like his suggestion on his strategic decisions.
See, if I'm Agartha here, though, I know having an army this big, this guy is not going to attack into me. I think it's like a 10% chance at best. So I would split and defend both these provinces with this cap army if I were Agartha.
Oh, if you were Agartha, yeah.
And that's when you get into this weird thing that, like, I know he's not going to attack into me, so I'm going to defend over here because that's the obvious move I should make if I'm Agartha. But then if End knows that I'm thinking that, does End know that I'm going to raid over here and know I'm not going to defend because it looks like I'm going to defend, and then they attack my cap? You get in weird mind games.
Does he know what I don't know, but I know what he doesn't know, or does he know what I know? Or yeah. It's like something out of The Princess Bride.
Yeah. When you get things that are obviously bad moves and obviously good moves, you get these very weird paradoxes that they become not very good moves. So, interesting. I don't think there's any battles to watch, though. And
no, not much. The interesting point is Ind effectively is going to get a fort without any fight on that farm.
Yeah. Because
Agartha just can't get there in time to do much. He can continuously keep reinforcing.
Well, if he moves his biggest stack here, and a minor stack here, you don't need too much to kill this, right? And a minor stack here, he can put a major threat on this force and cause a major reinforcement, which at least gives him a predictable move.
Agartha can.
Yeah. And he can probably, if he defends this and this, he could take the forces here and defend, especially if he has some mages, do some elementals, do a PD dump if he can. If he can defend these 3 provinces and assume nobody's going to attack his cap in a meaningful way.
Does Ind have much potential for magic phase movement?
They do with their cap only mages. They can teleport.
Right, but pricey and
they're pricey. Yeah, you can thug with them, but they need kind of a lot of gear to do it well.
I just thought it would be interesting if he's got ways to sort of magic phase over top, knock Agartha's initiative out of the way, confuse him.
And also gets angels that can fly, so they can do deep raiding with angels. It's like a Contrition 4 thing.
Oh, okay. Right.
I don't know if he has any.
These Ophan?
No, I don't see any. And bitch mothers are stealthy, so you can have stealthy bitch mother parties, especially if they have lions. Satyrs might be stealthy too. I can't remember, but
okay. And then bitch mothers probably have feet. You could get them moving pretty fast.
Yeah, he's kind of playing End like I'm gonna build up big armies and march at you and raid in a kind of conventional way, and that is definitely a very strong way to play End. But you can also be much more mobile if you choose to.
Oh, I found these Malak. Oh, they're only 9 pearls. They fly. They're sacred.
Yeah, those
they
are
can
good.
Bless themselves. They have no protection or magic, but you could cheaply thug them, I would think.
Yeah, they're solid.
Quite cheaply.
I used those a fair bit in my End game.
Okay, so that would give him mobility to raid behind the lines and change this up significantly.
Yeah.
Because right now he's been moving conventional armies, mage reinforced with his sacreds. But now if I was him, I'd be looking at, okay, what can I do to, grab more initiative? Think of this more like an air war than a land war. He's been playing a land war, but now he's got the option for interdiction and that sort of thing.
Yeah, the problem with the land war is it gives him kind of predictable moves, and Agartha is not dead yet, so he can kind of capitalize on those. We'll see if he does. If Agartha, in my opinion, sits in their capital, it's a mistake. But even that said, even if Agartha starts capitalizing on some of these moves, the ball is still definitely in End's court. Like that, I mean, it's the war is in their favor still for a while.
I think we're saying the same thing, is that changing this up to some unpredictable activities rather than just marching straight forward with these infantry armies would be in Ind's favor.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so that's end. Let's go to
And I think that's it for Agartha because he's only in the one war, right?
right. And we've done Vanheim. Ashdod we've done mostly. He's you can see he's got blood hunting operations and he's doing a pretty good job hiding his garnets here. Though I do recall in the game chat people figure out very quickly that he has garnets. Even though it was like
Okay.
like 3 turns after the people figured out he had garnets. So
That's funny.
yeah.
That's funny. Now maybe they scryed.
All right.
Scrying's fairly cheap.
Will that tell you the PD type?
Scrying gives you quite a lot of info. I believe it shows the sites.
Oh, but there's no site here. It's a PD type. It's an independent type.
Oh, it's an independent. I can't remember.
I don't think it does, but it might.
It shows you a lot more than just scouting.
Yeah.
And it also shows, importantly, what's inside a siege.
Oh my god.
Oh.
This hurts. So, Pan had the option to storm this fort last turn, but he decided to not do it and instead roll up on the capital.
Oh, good God. Oh, look at that little bits of maenads up front.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done. Nice little bit of bait there. And that's like 8 independent squads of 1.
Yeah.
And they're messing formations.
And impact.
Boom. And off they go, and they're all the way to the back. And they're going to run up it. Kill everything.
Yeah.
Oh.
Brutal.
Now, that was just PD.
Yeah.
But this clearly shows Uruk what he has to deal with.
I think he's evacuated the capital. I don't even know if there's anything inside.
Well, they said that's what he was going to do. He's just going to do a vengeance play against Xibalba.
All right.
Did it work?
Oh
my.
Okay, this is a scary... I don't know if he has Soul Slay. If he has Soul Slay, this is a very scary thing to send your god into.
Except we already know Xibalba won.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So buffing.
Light of the Northern Star, a bunch of
What's the green one?
communions.
Somebody put up relief.
Howl.
Right? Oh, Howl.
So he's
Howl.
got...
Oh, okay. That's put up by Isabel.
Mind Burns, but no Soul Slays. Now let's take a look at this guy. Tuesday's Leftovers. He's got an Ice Sword, an Ice Aegis, a Crown of Lead for a bit of MR. Okay, more MR gear, Lodestone Amulet.
Okay.
Lightweight Scale Mail, Boots of the Messenger.
And what's his, he's got an affliction. What is it?
A Limp.
Not a huge issue.
And he's got Personal Regen, Moss Body, Liquid Body, Reinvigoration.
Reinvigoration.
Now, the issue with Moss Body is I don't know if his protection's quite high enough that it will never get popped. So
yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting.
the problem, his MR is high enough where I don't think Mind Burns are going to matter.
No.
I can't even tell if the Mind Burns are hitting. Normally you can see an animation.
I don't... You'd have to go V on that guy.
Oh, I can see him now.
Okay. Oh, yeah, there they are. So they're trying to mind burn it, but it's not.
Oh, they're
working.
paralyzing him.
Oh, they got him.
37 turns.
So he's out of the fight.
Yeah.
The question is, can they kill him? Or does this just time out? See that howl? Oh, great. So basically the damn wolves are messing up Uruk.
Yep.
Because they're just getting chilled and killed.
And these spots can never get filled by anything but wolves. Because these guys are size 3, so every time a wolf dies...
Oh, jeez. Oh.
Some smites happening. We've got another Affliction crippled.
They're gonna trash that Teodal. Yeah, this is going to time out, I'm guessing. That's my prediction right now, is this just times out.
Yeah.
Because he's got no fear, so it's not like... And this is just going to stuff with wolves. You know, these wolves are going to go on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah. Alright, let's see what afflictions he gets. It's definitely timing out.
Oh, now he's bleeding. Battle round 78?
14, he might wake up before the turn 100, because he is the attacker. Has he woken up yet? Oh no, he got paralyzed again.
No, it's just a turn time.
Alright, there goes the turn 100. Maybe he goes at 110, I can't remember. Yeah, 110. Oh. But this guy's berserk.
The berserk guys are still wailing on him.
You know what that might mean? It might mean it truly times out.
Oh, but
he's woken up.
And he's surged. Well, he wins. Uruk will have had...
Oh, he's gone berserk. How has he gone berserk?
I don't know.
Like, do you see rage or something, or?
No, I didn't see it, but...
Oh, gone berserk. Oh, it's part of his bless.
Oh. Wow. Wow. Well, I don't know what to say about that.
Wait,
neither one of them, it didn't go well for either.
Turn 35. But I thought it was turn 35 that they all popped.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Oh, must not. Wow.
Good grief.
Wow. That was close. That was so close.
So the losses for Uruk weren't very significant.
Right. He lost some in the retreat for sure, and he burnt his communion out.
Oh yeah, that hurts.
If he didn't have Hal, I think there's a good chance he would have killed him. Because, what I think would have happened... Okay, well, maybe not. Because Breath of Winter would have eventually frozen all the Iron Warriors. But the Iron Warriors hit pretty hard.
They were chopping at him pretty good. But very few of them... Still, what did almost all the damage was Mind Burn.
Yeah, and the smites, too. So...
And then, of course, the Paralyze was very, very effective. So
yeah, I think without Hal, there's a very good chance they killed him.
Yeah. It turns out the Howl didn't do him any favors, but to be fair to Uruk, he probably expected to be fighting an actual army.
Right.
And the Howl would have been very helpful against a mage squad.
Yeah.
You know, like this thing here. You know, all those Wayubs and Kamazots, the wolves would have probably chewed them up pretty good.
Yeah. It is... And it's pretty good against Skelly Spam and other things that Xibalba can do. But it's worth thinking about. You know he has a Titan, you know. But that's kind of Monday morning quarterbacking on my part, so.
And he's pushed forward with raiding squads. Yeah, he's taken a lot of territory fairly cheap.
I kind of want to see how he's using these Way. I wonder if it's Wooden Warriors. Yeah, okay.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, but this is a cheap raid squad.
Yeah, these guys with Wooden Warriors are pretty good.
Hmm. Well, now Uruk has kind of pushed himself a little past where he can safely be, but if he's just going for vengeance, he might just keep pushing forward and do damage.
Well, I think he would probably like to avoid giving away infrastructure. I don't know if he can hold this now. He's in a weird position. He can't cross this river. The god's here, and he probably doesn't want to march right back into the god.
Not without some different technique.
He did manage to kill a Xibalban raiding force here. Oh, these guys are stealthy. I don't know if I realized that. So this is a stealthy raiding squad.
We had talked about that early on.
Yeah.
But I had forgotten that they're stealthy. This one dies. So that's the end of it. And just against PD, right?
It was PD plus a few Iron Warriors. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And they got the leader. So very few of those will have survived the retreat. And they probably didn't have much of a place to go.
Yeah, well, they had 2 places, so they might have. But yeah.
But without a commander, not very many.
I think the commander actually lived. He turned into a jaguar, so.
No, he hit him. Oh, the basic commander did. I just noticed.
Yeah, the way turned into a jaguar, which apparently is the thing they do.
Oh, okay.
I think Uruk not only is in a checkmate situation over here, I don't know what he does on this front. He's in a very weird situation all of a sudden. I felt very confident or comfortable in his war with Xibalba, but just where his troops are right now, I don't know what he does.
Well, that fight with the Teodo knocked him for a loop.
Yeah.
And it caught me off guard. That was, a tricky bit of shenanigans. It was painful for both. Those afflictions on the Teodo are not helpful.
Right.
And now...
But the Teodo has blood. He can do Blood Feast later. It's not that big of a deal for him.
That's true. I don't know. I've got to take a brief bio break. I'll be real quick.
Okay. All right, so I'm not going to speculate too much what he does. I don't think there's a ton of great moves left for Uruk, though. Does he have enough to go? I think the problem is if he goes here, I think he has to take these guys and go here, but then I think he probably doesn't have enough to defend this. So really good play by Xibalba, and maybe this gives some insight into why Xibalba didn't want to get down. They did feel pretty confident about winning this part of the conflict. Though, certainly they are not eating things nearly as quickly as Pangaea is. We had more Muke jungle warriors get killed here. Black Harpy got killed. I think he had a thug on top of this fort. And, thug, or a few White Centaur came down here and killed this.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm back. Didn't take long, but this is just a factor of post 50.
Oh, right.
And I drink water all day for health reasons. So
yeah,
I'd rather pee a lot than get dehydrated.
Fair enough. All right. So I think we've covered this part of the conflict. I mean, I think Uruk's going to give up their capital. I don't think they have anything to say about this. And then after that, it's looking like Pan will probably just move up and take all of this infrastructure. So
I'm going to note that we finished Zib, Uruk, and Pan, effectively. So what do you think the summation of this is?
I mean, I think Pangaea is getting stuff for free. Xibalba, who's getting forced to pay so far, is, he's paying with a pretty cheap discount, it seems like. Like, so far, he's lost some raiders. He lost some here. Lost some here. But aside from that, he's probably pretty happy with how things are going.
Yeah, I think the vengeance attack by Uruk is not turning out well.
No.
I don't think it's not delaying the inevitable, which is he's out of the game. And it's not doing enough damage to Xibalba to significantly change the leadership board.
Yeah.
And what it is doing is giving Pan just a huge advantage.
Yeah.
I mean, this has changed from 3 or 4 different leaders to now 2 really dominant players.
Right.
Well, 3, yes. Pelagia, Vanarus, Vanheim, and Pangaea.
I'm not sure I would call Pelagia dominant yet, but...
Well, I'm going on the fact that there's nothing to stop him from getting a huge amount of Jotunheim.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll see.
He's going to eat half of it.
I'm just looking at all the randoms here. I think one of the vulnerabilities of Uruk, if you go point buffing route, which seems to be kind of what he did, if you go that route, you don't have super high damage, like you don't have Soul Slay and stuff early.
Right.
I think the counter to that is making sure with your big armies you have Earth Mages who can jump in a Communion and do Strength of Giants. And that will help a bit, because these Iron Warriors, once they get Strength of Giants and they go Berserk, they're going to hit for 29 damage. So
you're thinking maybe his research, a little bit different choices. But he didn't. That's a bit.
No. I mean, I was saying I think he did do the point buffing stuff, but I'm just noticing a weakness. If you run into a Titan, you probably want to have Strength of Giants on all these guys. Oh, there went some of it. That was Strength of Giants. Okay.
Okay, so he's got the research.
Yeah. But yeah, and then he got kind of just a bungle there with Hal. Okay.
I don't think he was expecting that Teodal thug.
Yeah, I mean, but you never do.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So all we have left is Ulm and Bandar, I think.
I think that's it. Because we finished 10.
Bandar pinging again to see what Ulm's got. And this is a pretty beleaguered Ulm force, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. We also know that other than a Yaksha thug, there's almost nothing left inside that fort.
Right.
But that Yaksha thug is no joke.
Yeah.
Well, that and the cave drake.
Well, Ulm's got the problem now that he's got a bunch of Vanarus stuff he's going to have to fight. And this is not a big, scary army at all.
Nope.
And
he hasn't got really very many large armies sitting at home. They're okay, but it's not big.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I'm not
sure that I would have made the decision he did to break his NAP with Vanarus right now. I would have made sure I was done with Bandar.
Yeah, I usually try to do that too. Caps are just notoriously difficult to take, right? And never count the cap until you've taken it, right?
Well, and never count the player out until he's dead, because there's a number of little ways you could sneak outside of the capital and do some harassment, and
and we're getting to the time too when gods are going to start waking up. So
right.
He could have a Titan come out or something stupid. So you never know.
Be nice to finish that up before he commits, because it was his decision to break that NEP. I mean, Ulm's decision.
Yeah.
So, and Vanarus is not in bad shape.
No, they've got big armies. They've got a fair number of forts. They probably have pretty good research. I mean, Ulm is crushing research, though. But... Vanarus... Okay, no, it's middling. I thought it would be better with the forts they had, but...
Light blue, right?
Yeah, or Vanarus... Oh, that's Vanheim. Oh, Vanarus.
Yeah, Vanarus.
Oh, yeah, they're higher than that. Okay.
Yeah, okay. I don't know.
So we'll see. I think he can probably hold his ground here, but he might lose territory rating or something. But, I mean, we don't know. It matters what people cast, but Ulm does have a research advantage, so...
That's true, he does. And he should have a lot of Magi.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, well, I think that's it.
I think that's it. Let me just do the count here. So we just finished up Bandar and Ulm. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, we're missing somebody. Oh, Pelagia. We did talk about
we talked about Pelagia. They got the Kraken, they got the army. Yeah.
That puts us at 13. Can we just check briefly how many are actually out of the game now? Oh, Pythium's not quite dead, right?
Yes, Pythium is not quite dead. Naba and Mictlan are totally dead. Pythium, I think he had his Divine Emperor die.
Yeah, he did.
Right? So I don't know why he hasn't taken the thing. Where is he?
But I think there's really nothing much else to say about that. But that was the last nation we missed talking about.
Oh, wait.
Oh, he failed again.
Hold up.
We missed this. I'm glad I took the time to count.
Mind burn?
Oh, good grief. Oh my gosh. How many times has Zib tried to do this now?
Never count a cap until you take it.
Yeah, exactly. Jeez, these guys are having a heck of a time killing off the dead players. Oh man! Well, I'm glad I did the count, because we've had some comments in the on the YouTube comments that we missed the odd nation sometimes, and they want to know about what happened.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we took that moment, because this is a very interesting moment. Pythium is just not dead. And now he has free movement.
That's it. And
Now
there's
he can
there's
counter-raid.
nothing over here. There's no.
Oh, and now he's got money to buy something, like maybe gladiators or who knows. Maybe not a lot of money, but there's so little inside. The unrest in his capital is probably pretty darn bad.
40.
Only 40
Yeah.
and 258 income, so he's got a chance to buy a little bit of something. Maybe summon.
But I mean, get a big pack of Retarius and put him on patrol in your capital.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Oh wow. Well, I'm glad we popped back and made sure we looked at that.
Yeah. All right. Turn 30 expansion start.
Very exciting. Very exciting.
All right.
Well, I'm
Thanks for pulling
quite
that
up for some more, but let's take a brief pause.
All right. And I think we'll end it here then, guys. So see you all next time.
Absolutely.